Hello, hiya, what's up, what's good though? Soul here and welcome back to the story mode. So we are officially within release month for new Pokemon information. Usually around February of every year, we get some kind of Pokemon Presents to tell us what's going to be coming up for Pokemon within the upcoming year. Since we just received our newest generation of Pokemon only a couple of months ago, it's only fair to assume that we're going to be getting some kind of DLC regarding Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. What we'll actually be receiving regarding this DLC, I have absolutely no idea, not a clue. I could make speculations and guesses all day, every day out the wazoo, but fact of the matter is, we have no idea what Pokemon is cooking up, ever. And so we sit around, theorize, and discuss what possible DLC could we be getting for these games. So yep, you guessed it, this is a response video. Not too long ago, I asked you guys what your hopes and wishes are regarding the DLC coming for Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet. Oh, and just a heads up for anybody that's not aware, my Discord does get priority when it comes to responses. So if you want to pretty much guarantee that your response gets up in a video, why don't you go ahead and hop over to my Discord, link in the description. I could put it anywhere else if you need it, but it's around. Don't worry, I'll make it very accessible, open to everybody. Okay, now without any true further ado, why don't we go ahead and start talking about some of your guys' wishes for the DLC in Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet. To kick things off, we have Darth Connors, who says, Pokemon Home Update release date. DLC-wise, a possible connection to Kalos. Regular game-wise, to fix any future bugs and optimization. Yeah, I too am very much waiting on an actual Pokemon Home release date for these games. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I did put out a video saying that I really want to do a Shinx solo run. But to do that, I kinda need Pokemon Home to get what I need out of my games and stuff like that, because as of right now, it would just be too much work to move all of my Pokemon onto one game or the other by trading with friends and having them trade me. It's too much work, so yeah, I really agree with that one. I really need Pokemon Home yesterday. As I said in my previous video, when it comes to connecting the game to Kalos, while it is fun in theory, the overall outcome just wouldn't really do much for me personally, so if it comes, cool. If it doesn't, I'm honestly not hurt by it in the slightest. And hopefully they do take the time to really iron out some of the bugs and stuff that are present in the game. Will they actually go through with it? I have no idea. I'm sure that they would rather not waste time fixing what's already broken instead of just creating something new and hopefully better for, you know, the future. So I really don't know what to hope for when it comes to, you know, just general bug fixes and updates and stuff like that. We didn't really get much for Sword and Shield, so I'm really not expecting it here, to be honest with you. Next up here is Spicy Luchador, who says, first and foremost, I hope it has a good launch and isn't buggy. I really hope they do something with Jita, she's really lacking. More Paradox Pokemon would really be cool. Unfortunately, I can't really hold out too much hope that it's not going to be buggy since the main game is so buggy as it is. I wouldn't be surprised if we got the same very similar situation for the DLC. Again, Sword and Shield is a prime example. It didn't really fix much outside of just giving us more, you know what I mean? When it comes to Jita, I absolutely agree because she is debatably the most boring champion we have had to date. Lacking is literally the perfect word. She has literally no family within the region that has any interest in what she's doing. Her Pokemon team is super boring. We don't know anything about her history. Her design, it's kind of crazy. It's not the worst, but it's definitely an odd choice, to say the least. I mean, frankly speaking, a lot of the characters within these Pokemon games could absolutely use a little bit of a touch-up, but Jita in particular, yeah, it'd be nice to get a little something on her because I feel like she got the shortest possible end of every stick possible. And yeah, more Paradox Pokemon, that'd be pretty nice. I actually kind of want to make a video on that now. Would you guys want to see that? You know, some more potential Paradox Pokemon. I think that'd be pretty neat. Moving along here, we have quite the doozy from True CBE Champion, who says, my hopes for the DLC is for an expanded story where we get to possibly visit another part of a past region. Kalos is most likely. Also, they need to patch the game and overall give us some more things to do, maybe a Pokemon Battle League or something like that. And more new Pokemon would be nice. As for the February announcement, I would like to hear something on them giving away for non-Switch Pokemon games to be playable on the Switch. I know it's a long shot, but I can hope. An expanded story is an absolute must-have. There's still way too much mystery surrounding Area Zero as is, and the fact that nobody was supposed to be down there, yet we went down there and didn't get punished or anything for it, and we just called it a day, is absolutely criminal. It's pretty weird that nobody's talking about the fact that there's just Pokemon from the past and or future just kind of roaming around. That's super weird. We should probably get more on that. And you know, it's funny that you say Kalos because, again, this comment was received before I put out my Kalos DLC discussion, but this is kind of a prime example of what I was talking about. Everybody and their mamas is expecting something from Kalos, so I, at this point, don't know if I would be more shocked or not shocked at all if we actually did get something from Kalos. Again, I really wouldn't hold my breath on them really patching the game to make it even more playable or run generally better, because why would they even bother fixing it up when they can just finish out the DLC and do something else? But I could be wrong on that. Maybe they could patch in something, and hey, you know, that would be really, really neat. It would probably make replaying the game from scratch even more worth it. And I'm sure, like any good DLC, I'm sure they'll give us something good to do. If it's going to be a Pokemon Battle League, I don't know about that, but some kind of like Battle Tower-esque situation, or maybe a weird like Pokestar Studios type beat that Iono runs, that would be super sick. Now that I think about it, like some kind of like influencer Pokemon like oh man, no, that's weird. I'm getting my hopes up. There's no way they would do something like that. There's no way they would actually utilize Iono. All right, I love Iono. Could you guys tell? And when it comes to legacy content on the Switch, that's another thing I just can't hold my breath over, because they can't even do it for other games. It took them forever just to get us Earthbound on the Switch. That's kind of ridiculous, so I'm not holding my breath to be able to play DS games or even like the original Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald on Switch, you know what I mean? So I've given up on that. Don't get me wrong, it would be totally awesome and I would love it if they were to actually come through with that, but for the time being, you know, I'm not saying people should be emulating, because that's no good for them, for their pockets, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying you should emulate, but it is an option. And again, I'm not advertising it, but do with that information what you will. Next along here, we have the Vest of the Seeker, who says, new paradoxes and things that would have been in the base game, like a way to buy Terra Shards. Okay, first off, we are definitely gonna be making a Pokemon that deserve a Paradox form video soon. I really want to do that. I have some Pokemon in mind. And when it comes to the possibility of buying Terra Shards, originally I was thinking about this when I read it, right? And I was thinking like that would kind of defeat the purpose of raid battles and stuff like that. But then I thought about it and I'm like, no, I think as DLC that would be more than fair. I think the people that have been playing for day one and are most likely going to purchase the DLC have more than earned the right to be able to have access to buy Terra Shards, because it do be a tedious task after a while. And even then, it's not like that would completely render raid battles useless. There's still items that you can't get on a regular basis, like Herba Mystica and stuff like that. So, all in all, I think that that's more than fair. I think it would also be fair to make them more on the expensive side, but all in all, I think it's a fair game to ask for buyable raid shards. That's not too much of an ask. You're absolutely right. Next up, we have the homie Matt, who says, hopefully some fun little quests with some professors or other minor characters where we get some lore. Frankly, that's all I want. Getting anything on the main three alone would be awesome, but to get some more on some of the other professors and get some quests from them, maybe some of the gym leaders that we didn't really get to touch up on, like Iono, or maybe Larry or something like that, would be amazing. What's her name? Nurse Miriam? Let me help that girl get her degree, please. Let me get her nursing license or whatever she needs, cause my goodness. Please, just look at her. Let me help her out. Goodness me. And from the end of the Discord comments, we have Crispy Boys, who says, there's a ton of fun lore in the Book of Scarlet and Violet that I'd love to see them touch on in the DLC. The supposed third legendary, the weird legendary fusion drawings, and more. And gameplay wise, I really hope they give us Terrestrial Adventures or something similar to Dynamax Adventures. Those improved on every aspect of Dynamax raids, and they could definitely do the same for Terra raids. Excuse me? What is this about official lore being in a completely separate item aside from the games themselves? Are you kidding me? I might have to hunt this book down then, because I did not know that that was a thing. And I will also definitely be looking into this third legendary thing, because again, completely unbeknownst to me. No idea that this existed. And as far as the gameplay, yes, 1000% I absolutely agree. Dynamax Adventures was such a good addition, and even though it wasn't in the base game, honestly, I'm glad it turned out to be DLC because it turned out to be so much fun to be able to do with friends and stuff like that. Just like choosing different paths and all that. They could absolutely just port that exact situation just right over. Just port that right over, hand that over. I would be totally okay with that because that was a fun little mechanic that I am more than down to mess with. And honestly, they don't even need to create an entirely different island to import something like that. They could totally just put that in one of the caves that have absolutely nothing in them and just utilize that. Like, for real, just make use of the world that's there and you could totally get away with something like that. So that just about does it for the Discord side of things. Why don't we hop on over to the YouTube side and see what everybody had to say over there. First up is Yo Mama, who says, one of the things that I thought they did right were the designs of the cities and environments, so I would be interested to see more. It would also be cool to see how the modern environmental designs translates to something like a city or area that calls back to an older region, like how Mali was to Johto in Sun and Moon. It's been a crazy long time since I've played Sun and Moon, so I don't really remember anything about that city, but I feel that personally, yeah, they've been kind of weak when it comes to like the overall lore and, you know, just general interest when it comes to the cities in this region. I feel like they were just more so like placed for the sake of having places as opposed to like this region having more of a history, you know what I mean? To be able to touch on anything like that within the DLC would be super nice, but I don't really see him doing it, you know? Not to put anybody down or anything like that, but I just feel like it's unlikely. However, I do agree it would be really neat to see something like that. Next up, Dangly G, who says, I want to see the third legendary and some more lore on Area Zero. Okay, first off, I'm looking this up right now, but before we get to that, I have a question. I didn't think about this until we started talking about the topic of a third legendary, but by technicality, are Koraidon and Miraidon legendary Pokemon? Obviously, from a design and technical standpoint, yes, of course. However, isn't Koraidon and Miraidon just future and past variants of Silazar, who is a very common Pokemon in the Paldea region? So it stayed as Koraidon, devolved, and then re-evolved into Miraidon, right? Am I crazy? Like, I just need more information on that because I'm a little confused as to what makes them quote-unquote legendary if they're actually just a common Pokemon in the past, present, and future. This is also the only quote-unquote legendary Pokemon that I could think of where you can own 2 of that Pokemon. So, I don't know, it kind of takes away the legendary status for me. But, you know, if y'all can tell me and, you know, inform me and update me, awesome, great. Alright, so back to your actual response here. You said you wanted the third legendary. Awesome, dope. What the hell is the World Turtle? I was just looking in some articles right now in between recordings, and I guess supposedly, for whatever reason, people are under the impression that Area Zero and possibly all of Paldea in of itself is the third legendary, the World Turtle. What? No, there's no way, right? There's no way. You're telling me we about to be on our Avatar wand business and meet up with the World Turtle to get some kind of ability or understand what terrestrialization is or something like that? Like, that's crazy. If you don't know what I'm talking about, please watch Avatar The Last Airbender if you haven't already. But anyway, that's nuts. If that's the legendary, I'm screaming. Moving along here, we have CGK, who says, definitely want to go to Kalos just so I can get the Gen 6 outfits. Seeing the Paldea protagonists in Gen 6 clothing would bring me so much happiness. Not solely because of the fact that it's Gen 6 outfits and it's just nice for nostalgia purposes, but to get the hell out of the school clothing that limits the hell out of us. Also, I swear to Shinx, if they don't bring back the theme from the clothing shops in 6th Gen, I'm gonna punch somebody's grandma in the jaw. I'm almost positive that future me, while editing this, will most likely put the song in for you guys to hear, for those of you that haven't heard it in a little while. But, yeah, I just listened to it in between takes right now. Mwah, beautiful theme. Awesome. 6th Gen music? Great. I'm starting to think that outside of the clothing and just generally revisiting the region, I want the music so bad. Fun fact, the Pokeball Factory slash like power plant theme is another one of my favorite themes in all of Pokemon. That is an incredible I'm gonna use that like right now probably for this background. So go ahead, future me, stick it in right here. Don't you dare forget. Next up, let's see what David Gold had to say. More Nimona, Arven, and Penny adventures. I'd prefer Kalos content over extra Paldea areas. Option for daily post-game battles with rivals, Elite Four, and etc. outside of just the tournament, and just more general post-game stuff. Not giving us any more Nimona, Penny, and Arven squad content in the DLC would actually be criminal, and somebody needs to get arrested if they don't. We need more of them. I love them so much. Please, that's all I want. When it comes to preferring Kalos content over extra Paldea content, I'm actually the opposite. I would prefer more Paldea as opposed to Kalos, personally. But if we could get that music in, then I'm sure we'll be alright. As far as the optional daily battles to do with other characters, yeah, I'm a fan of that plan. I like that a lot. You have all these characters, just place them around in random areas and have them show up on the map every now and again, and we could do some special battles with them. That would be pretty sick. I have to stop myself because you know what I'm going to say. You know what I'm going to say? I'm not going to say it. I'm going to leave it alone, but we're going to move on from that. But yes, I totally agree. I would love to see any of these other characters just roaming around being like, hey, we battled before. I think I'm a little bit stronger now. You want to go another round? And you get to battle again. That would be so sick. Maybe you get some like special items from it too. I'd love that. I would absolutely love that. We got another one here from the homie Danny Luxray, who says, I try not to have expectations so I don't get disappointed, but I want to see the third legendary, although that could be just theory talk. A way to properly rematch gym leaders and the Elite Four, more info on the lore of the region, like the Paldean Empire that was mentioned, a new location to explore, and a cameo from an old character. Based on what I've just read about the theory of the third legendary makes me believe that that's absolutely not going to happen, because how in the world could we possibly interact with that thing if it's a real thing? And even if it isn't, I don't see anything else even being remotely as grand and epic, to be honest with you. Now that it's in my head, I don't know how to feel about it, but anything less would not be epic. Not like that. So anyway, what is this about the Paldean Empire that you just mentioned? I don't remember hearing anything about that. Is that in like the book, or is that in like the classes? Maybe I missed that by chance. Maybe I was going a little too fast. I don't know. I don't remember anything about the Paldean Empire, but I would love to hear more about that. If there's a way for me to find it and look into it, there is a possibility that that could somehow tie in to DLC. Not entirely sure, but it would be nice. Now, of course, I would love to see anybody that they decide to cameo if they were to bring somebody back. Would love to see them in the Paldea region just roaming around doing their thing. That would be sick. I would love it. However, there's a character in particular that I've been wanting to see and confirm for so long now, and I have not seen anybody talk about it, and it still has yet to be confirmed. I would like to see the descendants of Adaman. You know, the leader of the Diamond Clan from Pokemon Legends, who's the only person that nobody can figure out who he's related to. Any other character that I care about personally, we already know who the descendants are. But Adaman is the only one who is a complete mystery, and that is unacceptable. I need to know, and I want to see them doing something in particular in the Paldea region. Maybe he's researching the third legendary, or she, or whoever. I don't care. I just want them there. I want to see them so bad. I'm telling you, bro, if he had a great granddaughter, I promise she's a baddie, bro. I promise. And finally, for the sake of not getting too repetitive and not going on too long here, we have Donut Apostle the 7th, who says, just let me do double battles, bro. Yeah. I absolutely concur, man. The Star Tournament from last generation, that was nice. That was a nice way to bring back a lot of characters within that game and utilize them for something as much as we wanted, and we got to team up with whoever, battle against whoever at random. It was nice. So, yeah. You know, maybe something like the Star Tournament coming back would be super nice, or just double battles in general. I don't know. But I agree. Let us do double battles. And so, with that there, I think it's safe to say that we've gotten through a decent amount of the hopes and wishes that you guys have when it comes to the possibilities of DLC for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Now, I do have my own wishes, hopes, and possible even theories as to what could possibly be coming for the DLC, but we'll save that one for another video. This one is all you guys, and I'm gonna go ahead and leave it right there. So, for anybody that didn't get to put their wishes, hopes, and opinions down, what are you guys thinking over there? Do you guys have any similar wishes and hopes for the DLC? Do you have very specific wishes that aren't within this video, that haven't been mentioned yet by me or anybody else? Let me know everything you guys are thinking in the comment section below, because you know for a fact that I am always gonna be down there with you guys. And with that right there, I think it's about time to go ahead and skedaddle. For me mostly. But anyway, thank you guys ever so much for watching. I truly do hope you enjoyed. Do me the greatest favor, dropping a like and a comment, and consider subscribing for more content just like this here. And with that, I'm Gonzo. Thanks again, hope you enjoyed, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next video. Do me the greatest favor, taking good ass care, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!